The major talking point this afternoon on the show is going to be about the games that we witnessed in the Ghana Premier League. Match day 2 of the Ghana Premier League. Remember last week we saw matches on match day 1 when Kumasi Asante Kotoko played at home to Liberty Professionals, as well as Accra Hearts of Folk locking horns with the Interlights at the Owak Stadium. That game ended goalless. Kumasi Asante Kotoko had to come from a goal down to defeat Liberty by 2-1. So we look forward to what will happen this weekend as they play, their game, as well as Accra Hearts Folk. They will face Mediama at the Accra Sports Stadium. But before we go into the analysis and all, we'll first hear from Kumasi Asante Kotoko defender Awudu Nafui on how he's settling in after joining the club from AshGold.
First of all, when I came to this team, they all received me in a good way. So since day one, I'm enjoying everything we have been doing, both outside and on and outside the field with the boys. So we know each other before, just that we are in different clubs. But now I've joined them. Everything is on course, going on well. I've been in the system for a long time, so there's not about any being pressure be on me, because just that I'm in the club, but not in the new in the system or in our league.
So comparatively, from where you played and coming to Kumasi Asante Kotoko, what is the difference like?
Oh, my former club and Asante Kotoko, there's a difference, because Asante Kotoko is a big club and always needed a resource. So everything I was been doing in my former club, here I have to double up things, so that what the supporters and the players and the manager want need the club to be on high. We all enjoyed those good things to be on top.
So what sort of targets have you guys set for yourself?
Yeah. Yes, we have target for the league title as at now, but we will take match after match.
So, what will be your message to the numerous Kumasi Asante Kotoko fans?
What I would say that all we need is their support, and they have to be prayerful always. Even if we are down, they must lift us up, so that things will be good for us. So we achieve what we want to achieve for this season.
So that was Kumasi Asante Kotoko defender Awudu Nafui in that interview with my colleague Delali Atiase of Love FM. So Awudu Nafui will be hoping to play a part in Kumasi Asante Kotoko's game this weekend against Bekum Chelsea. So that forms part of many matches that will be played this weekend in the Ghana Premier League. We'll have Accra Hearts Folk Mediama SC at the Accra Stadium. Obviously, top liner this weekend in the Premier League. AshGold Great Olympics will also happen at the Obuasi Linkley Stadium with Wafa playing host to Bisondos at the Soga Copper Park, as well as Omina Sharks will play Diana Stars. And Omina Sharks, this will be their very first game in this season's Ghana Premier League. Last week they were supposed to play, but because of Between United engagement in Africa, they couldn't, and they will taste the Ghana Premier League. They will open their campaign this weekend at the Indum Park, as well as Liberty Professionals will play host to Interlights at the Dansuman Karindorf Park. Well, to help me do analysis of the matches going into the weekend is my colleague Kofi Asario, who joins me via Skype from Kumasi. Kofi, thanks so much for joining me here on the show. First of all, let's start with the Kumasi Asante Kotoko Bekum Chelsea game. Asante Kotoko had to come from a goal down to beat Liberty by 2-1. How does that play in going into their game against Chelsea this weekend?
Well, thanks for having me, Benedict. For Kotoko fans, I think there's a bit of uneasiness for them. Many of them left the Babaya Stadium last Sunday, still not convinced by the play of the boys. They were uncomfortable at times when Liberty were on their A game. They were struggling to get into their paces. But then when they decided to throw all caution to the wind and take risks in the game, they managed to get the goals in there. For me, I still think they are not a finished article. There's a lot of work to be done. They are not getting the best out of some of the buys that they made in the off-season. For example, Kwame Guahine, we know is an attacking-minded player who plays from deep. But then he's still trying to find his space in that five-man midfield. Eric Donko, who seems well suited to this particular system too, is not a starter in the game. And at certain points in the game on Sunday when he came in, he was so unconvincing, even though he contributed to the goals in there. But I think they are some of the finished artists, so they are going to find it very difficult against the two Chelsea. Mind you, they've got one of the best home records in the Ghana Premier League. They are not good travelers, but when they are home at the Golden City Park, it's always difficult beating them. They've got a group of young staff coming in right now, and Steve Polak is back there with them. But I still think it's going to be a very difficult game for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. And we might just find ourselves getting a drawn game out there at the Golden City Park. But then, if Kotoko decides to throw everything, to throw all caution to the wind like they did on Sunday, they are going to be very dangerous to contain. Frank's African Street might not be there, but Emmanuel Jensi is one to watch out for this season. And that young lad in Metro, Prince Aqua, he's also a great player.
Kofi, how are they going to cope with the absence of Captain Amos Frimpong, who we all know that he's been ruled out for a month after picking up that injury in the game against Liberty, as well as Obed Owusu?
Well, they can cope. We saw glimpses of how they can do without Amos in the game on Sunday. Eric Donko came in to sit in that two or wing-back position for him, and he did creditably there. But in the absence of Obed Owusu, especially as Lane who comes in, and I think he was by far the best creative player on Sunday for Kotoko. And he might just come in and support Yakubu Mohammed. It liberated Yakubu when he came in the game on Sunday. So I think Draco may just start at Lane on Sunday.
Well, let's talk about the other games briefly before you take leave of us. Accra Heartfolk, they play Mediama SC at the Accra Stadium, top liner this weekend. Mediama, they have a very good record against Accra Heartfolk in the Premier League. If my memory serves me right, in the last 4 seasons, Hearts have always struggled to beat Mediama SC. Now, Accra Heartfolk, good news going into the game is that hopefully they will have Frank Nuttall, their new coach, on the bench. Mediama SC always prove stubborn at the Accra Stadium. When they meet Heartfolk, how you look at both teams and their strength in the opening game. How does that play in as well?
Well, for me, I think it's going to be difficult for Heartfolk again. It might be a new look Mediama FC that only had 15 new faces in there. But then Heartfolk were not convincing themselves in their opening game.
Absolutely.
The head coach will be coming in, still trying to get his hands on the job. I heard him say that he's now assessing the players. This is a very big issue for me if you're an Accra Heartfolk fan, for you to have a coach assessing players 2 games into the season. So for me, I think it's going to be difficult for them. Mediama SC will come in and fight hard for this one. At the Accra Stadium or wherever the game will be played, I think it's going to be difficult for them. Remember, Heartfolk beat them at the DNA Park last season, but they came and beat Heartfolk in Accra. So Accra folks have to be very careful. They are not going to have it easy. I see Mediama getting points, at least a point from this game. Okay,
Kofi, thanks so much for joining us here on Pulse Sports. So that was my colleague Kofi Asare joining us, with analysis of matches, the Ghana Premier League matches this weekend. So as you heard, Kofi, he actually analyzed the game involving Bekum Chelsea, Kumasi Asante Kotoko, which is happening at the Bekum Golden City Park. Also, Accra Heartfolk, Mediama SC at the Accra Sports Stadium. Also, will have AshGold. They will take on Great Olympics at the Obasil Clay Stadium with Wafa up against Ebuson Doors at the Sugar Copper Park. Then Omina Sharks, Diana Stars, as well as Liberty Professionals Interallies. I made mention of the 2 teams that will not play in the Ghana Premier League this very weekend. That's between United DFR away in Algeria. They take on MC Algiers in their second leg of their CAF Confederation Cup game. Remember, the first leg at the Accra Stadium, they won by 2-1, so they must avoid anything of defeat to ensure qualification to the next stage of the competition. And Wild Stars lost their first leg at the Tamale Stadium to Athlete Tripoli by 3-1, and currently they are in Tunisia to play the second leg. So Wild Stars must score 3 unanswered goals to ensure qualification to the next stage of the competition. We wish both teams all the best in Africa. But we'll come your way with more sports news during this evening's edition of the Prime News. My name is Benedict Owusu. Enjoy the rest of your day. And also, when you want more sports news, make your way to the Manjo Online Sports page and keep following us on Twitter as Joy Sports, GH on Facebook as Joy Sports. Have a wonderful day.